Hi, I'm Christy. Welcome to Weird and Witchy Shit, a place for, well, weird and witchy shit. Here we talk about everything from the magic of yoga, rituals, tarot, crystals, astrology, self-love, mental health, spiritual stuff, spooky things, and anything of the mystical variety. So if that sounds like the kind of shit you're into, then you're in the right place, my friend. Welcome to the coven. So let's talk about the mythology behind Taurus, but before we do, let's get into a few basic Taurus facts. So Taurus is the second sign of the zodiac following Aries, and Taurus season is between April 20th and May 20th. It's an earth sign of negative polarity, meaning that it is a feminine sign. It's also a fixed sign, which means that it falls in the middle of a season. And for Taurus, this season would be spring. The ruling planet for Taurus is Venus. And the tarot card associated with Taurus is the Hierophant. Some keywords that you'll often hear associated with Taurus is dependable, reliable, affectionate, routine, placid, lazy, and warm-hearted. And I would say that's probably true about most Tauruses that I know. I feel like definitely the routine when the Tauruses that I know, they don't often like change. They like things to stay very the same, and they definitely love their home comforts. So Taurus, as you probably already know, is represented by a bull, and we have actually spoke about this very bull before in its whole own episode, an episode where we spoke about the many lovers of Zeus. But I will happily recap the story for this episode. So Zeus, who was the king of the gods, was not only known for his rulership, his strength, and his love of thunderbolts, but also his wandering eye, and often to either disguise his love affairs from his long-suffering wife Hera, or sometimes to trick the object of his desire into having sex with him. He would often transform himself into an animal, and one animal he particularly loved to take the form of was that of a bull. If you are watching the video version of this, I feel like my lighting is pretty dodgy. The sun is like beaming in right now, and in the viewfinder I look ghostly white, so apologies if that's distracting. One of the most popular stories about Zeus doing this was when he seduced the Phoenician princess Europa. So Europa, of course, she's young, she's beautiful. I say it all the time, everyone in Greek mythology is always young and beautiful. She was innocently wandering round the field one day with her two brothers when off in the distance she seen a majestic looking white bull, and she thought, oh my god, what a beautiful bull. So she wandered over to go and see said bull, and when she got up to it, she noticed that it was so beautiful. It had the most kind, warm-hearted, loving eyes. So she's stroking it, she's petting it, and she decides to climb onto the bull's back. And when she does, the bull decides to run with her across the sea. And I'm sure you are catching on that this bull is Zeus. Just to clarify, the bull carried Europa off to the island of Crete, where she stayed, and she birthed many children to Zeus, and I think led a relatively happy life. It ended in a little bit of a shit show for like her brothers, because her parents were like, don't you dare come home until you bring your sister back, and they never brought their sister back. But I can talk about that like another time. So that very beautiful, majestic bull is the bull that we associate with Taurus. So Taurus, a sign that we often see as reliable, routine, trustworthy. That might be true, but you also never know when they are actually Zeus in disguise. If you'd like to continue the conversation, you can get me on Instagram at kristys_coven. That's KRISTYS_coven. You can also find me on YouTube at Kristys Coven, where I post a lot of free yoga classes and shit like that. And I'd love to have you join, because it's not a coven if it's just me. And until next time, bye!